This is Lady Boulay, and welcome back to Black American Lineage. Thank you for your support. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for your comments. And thank you for your likes. Thanks for those thumbs up. I really appreciate your support. We've been on a journey here in this country. It's been a long journey. Many people think that we got a long way to go. We came a long way, but we got a long way to go. Well, I don't think we look at how far we have to go. I think we focus on the journey. I think we focus on the today. Let the time take care of itself. But we have accomplished a lot after coming out of those 246 years of slavery and then another 100 years, almost 100 years of de facto slavery called Jim Crow, where it was still slavery, but they were calling it something else. But we have stood the test as Black Americans, the one who were willing to put their shoulders to the plow, stay in faith, and keep it moving. And now we're beginning to see the results of all that hard work. I want to reiterate that I don't focus on the negative aspects of Black American life. I focus on what's been done and the possibilities of what can be done if you apply discipline and the faith and the hard work. So that's what I like to focus on. There are a lot of channels on this platform that spend their time talking about the negative aspects of Black American life, what you ought to be mad about, who did something to you, who said something about you. I don't mind doing some of that, but my focus is strength, because we don't really have to be defeated by what anybody else thinks or says. And despite every weapon that's been formed against us in this country, they have not succeeded. Somebody has paved the way for the next generation in every aspect of American industry. So today, I want to introduce you to a granddaughter and her granddad who have done something quite extraordinary. So, proudly holding up the family's legacy. I first saw this on Facebook. University's first Black graduate hands his granddaughter her diploma 59 years later. On a momentous graduation day at Georgia Tech, history came full circle as Ronald Yancey, the university's first Black graduate, proudly handed his granddaughter, Deanna Yancey, her diploma 59 years after he made history and broke barriers at the institution. So we know that Georgia Tech is in Atlanta, and it is a renowned school for engineering. And he was the first Black to graduate from Georgia Tech 59 years ago. And we know 59 years ago, being the first Black to do anything was very difficult. But he made it. That's the important thing. He made it. And this is Deanna with her grandfather. He's smiling proudly, and here he is handing her her degree from Georgia Tech. At Georgia Tech's recent graduation ceremony in McCamish Pavilion, countless students celebrated the culmination of their years of hard work. Among them was Deanna, who proudly earned her master's degree in electrical and computer engineering. For Deanna, this achievement held special significance. Her grandfather, Ronald Yancey, was the first Black graduate of Georgia Tech. A statue of him stands in Cloud Commons, symbolizing the barriers he broke and the doors he opened for future generations. And that is common around here in the South, where if you're the first Black to graduate from a college, especially something like the School of Pharmacy. I have a family member who was the first Black to graduate from the School of Pharmacy at Auburn University in Alabama, and they make a big deal over that. So they have a statue of him, and there are statues at the University of Alabama of Arthurine Lucy, James Hood, and Vivian Malone. They were the first Black students to enroll in and graduate from the University of Alabama. Arthurine Lucy had to go years later because they ran her out. So they know what they did was wrong. But because these people persevered and stuck with it, they are honoring them in the way that they know how to honor people. So back to Deanna and her grandfather. Reflecting on her journey, Deanna remarked, "He's broken barriers and he's opened doors that I will never have to experience opening myself." True that. Having completed her undergraduate studies at Penn State, Deanna chose Georgia Tech for her master's degree, considering it's one of the nation's top engineering schools. On her graduation day, she not only received her diploma, but also had the honor of being congratulated by her grandfather, Ronald Yancey, who presented it to her. Oh, I just think that's so sweet. He's just standing there proud of his granddaughter. It would be nice if we would think more about making our parents proud than embarrassing them. That's just what I think. "I couldn't thank Georgia Tech enough," Deanna expressed, acknowledging the significance of her grandfather's legacy and the opportunities it provided her. Yeah, she probably went there free because of the legacy. Okay? Legacy, remember? And it doesn't hurt that she also went to undergraduate school at Penn State, which is also a top school in America. So, Ronald Yancey's pioneering spirit continues to inspire current and future students at Georgia Tech. "It's just beyond me how someone could be so strong in such a hard time," she said. Yes, he was strong, and they were strong. You know why? Because they were focused on what they were doing and what they were supposed to do. Not going there to look for a spouse from another race. Okay, I could have said that. Well, I want to end like this. There are a lot of black people now who are saying, you don't need an education, you don't need to go to school, it's too expensive, it's too that, it's too that. Let me tell you something. Black people need to be represented in every aspect of American life, because what do we complain about? We complain about disparities in health care. We complain about discrimination in education, discrimination in employment, discrimination in whatever is going on. Studies show that black students learn better under black teachers. Now, gifted students who are highly motivated can learn under any teacher, but children who really need the teacher's involvement in their education, black students learn better with black teachers. And yet that is also cultural, because growing up in school back in the day, and even during my teaching experience, black teachers motivated their students. They pushed. That's what they used to say. You have to push them, because sometimes black people still struggle with learning how to read because of the language barrier. That language barrier is generational. We're proud of AAVE, African American Vernacular English, but it's not standard English. And at school, the books are printed in standard English. So sometimes black students struggle with what we would consider basic things. So a black teacher would know that and relate to the students on an emotional and a cultural level. And that does help. And it doesn't mean that I'm not going to say that white people don't care. What I will say, and I can speak from experience with this, they don't come with the attitude that they have to push your children. They come with the attitude that I'm supposed to teach. So if a white child is not getting it in class, those parents know either they have to work with their students or they have to get tutoring for their students, because the teacher can't hold the class up because your child is not as fast at something as somebody else's. So it is important for black people to be represented in every area of American life, because we actually do bring something unique to the discourse and to the situation. And we are a part of the problem solving when we are present and on time. Okay, y'all, thank you for listening to this. Let me know what you think about this grandfather and his granddaughter. Subscribe to this channel and continue to support this channel and encourage me. Okay, y'all. Thank you. Have a great day.